Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dokkan Battle video. And today we're going to take a look at this physical EZA Super Trunks. So I think these Super Trunks EZAs are going to be a little bit under the radar because they're dropping like with version Z and they weren't like very heavily announced. Like they're just kind of in the news and just floating there. But like we all knew they were coming if you pay attention to JP with like Super Vegeta and whatnot, right? So we're going to take a look at the Super Trunks here. I'm going to be honest, I'm a little bit worried just because since Super Vegeta got delayed so much, I feel like these Super Trunkses have kind of been aging before we even got them. And I feel like I'm not going to be as impressed by their numbers, but we'll see. We'll see when we actually use him and see how good he's looking. I just remembered when I watched JP, I did like the physical one a little bit better. So this is actually a full level 10 link showcase. I did full level 10 link this guy. I will do a showcase on the STR one. He is not full level 10 links, okay? So his leader skill is just an all type 60%, not anything you're really going to use. Super attack effect does supreme damage and raises attack and defense for 3 turns. So this is the thing that kind of makes this guy sneaky good because his passive is really simple. It's really basic. This attack and defense raise for 3 turns is actually quite significant. So he does stack like just enough, I think, to look more impressive after you get him on a couple of turns, right? So his passive is Ki +4, attack and defense plus 200% at the start of turn, disables enemies guard, and weakens regeneration. So the weakens regeneration is basically a throwaway, unless they make some new really difficult event where regen actually matters, but that's pretty much a throwaway. He has that from way back in the day because you're supposed to use him against like a Cell on one of the old Cell Dokkan events, and it'll actually like lower his regen, right? The disable guard is okay. It just means that like, so this guy, for example, if he's attacking an STR unit, it'll just be type neutral instead of disadvantage, which is good. And all of his passive is just start a turn. So basically what you see is what you get, except he is getting that attack and defense raise for 3 turns on super, okay? I did kind of balance this guy with additional and crit. Additionals are good, though, to maximize on that super attack passive. If you can get multiple additionals in a turn, he's going to be looking pretty good. So there you go. He's full level 10 links. So we're going to see how he's looking. We're going to run him on Heavenly Events. I don't get to run this team enough. And the Super Trunkses and Super Vegeta is actually like a really good buff to this team. I think this is now a legitimate runnable team, like full-on Heavenly Events if you want to, without the Bond Master and Disciple part if you didn't want to. So I'm really liking it. I'm going to float one of the Gohans as like a ridiculous defense support. We're going to float the Piccolo Krillin as just a generic Heavenly Events support. And then we'll float our Hybrid Saiyan support here as well. So we're going to go ahead and hop in and see how he's looking. So turn 1, we're getting fairly heavily supported. So he's starting off at 178k defense, right? And he's going to get an attack and defense raise on super. So after supering, he's going to be well over 200k, like probably 250 plus, somewhere in that range, defensively. So defensively, he's going to be looking okay here, right? We're only getting Fierce Battle. So this obviously is not our ideal linking rotation. Our unit we're going to link him up is actually going to be coming around on rotation 2. So we're going to have to float him off and get him kind of set up. So, all right, let's see what we're looking like here. Just keep in mind, this is a very heavily supported turn, right? All right, let's see what we're looking like turn 1. This is a unit that is going to look a lot better on turn 2 and 3, but we'll see what he's looking like on turn 1 here in terms of attack. So he's at, yeah, only 2 mil. And 2 mil is not great, you guys. I mean, here's the other reason I was feeling worried going into the showcase. One, like I said, he's already aged quite a bit because we got him so late. But like, I'm literally doing this showcase like right after doing the version Z Goku free-to-play unit, and that dude was so impressive that it's like, oh, now this Trunks is not going to seem nearly as impressive, right? We'll see. That was only turn 1. We'll see how significant his attack and defense raise is. But yeah, we'll get a couple of turns here and see how he's looking. But it's kind of a bummer. I mean, in terms of like Super Trunks, it's not like a very commonly named unit, right? They're literally the physical one and the STR one are the only ones of significance. I think there's like a World Tournament one. And then there's another card that like exchanges into one, but like really nothing significant. So, I mean, if they did, like, I think Super Trunks could potentially get a Dokkan Fest, and they could definitely make him really good, right? All right, let's see how he's linking up with the... Okay, so he links up really, really well with the support Trunks. So you could run him as a linking partner if you want to. You can see we got 5 out of 7. So that's a very, very good linking setup. So now we're looking a lot better, right? So 255k starter turn defense. That's just after 1 super attack, right? So what that means is after supering, he's going to be well over 300k. So he's looking a lot better on turn 2. We're going to see what the attack stat, because that 2 mil attack stat's got to improve a lot, right? Okay, so we're going to do that, and we're going to do that there. All right, what do we got on turn 2? Okay, 3.3. So that's a little bit more reasonable, right? So turn 1, he's not looking great, but turn 2, he's looking really good. And then 3.5 on the additional. Once again, you get additionals with this guy, he's going to start cooking. He's going to be looking really, really good, right? So I feel a little bit better about turn 2. It's still hard, though, when I'm comparing him. I don't know. Maybe it's not a fair comparison, but when I'm comparing him to version Z Goku, who is hitting 5 or 6 mil with 300 plus K defense and supporting the rotation, being a free-to-play unit over the summonable Trunks, like, yeah, not looking as good. But he's still solid. Like, he's definitely, like, really good, really solid. We're going to see on the next turn how he's looking on the next turn here. Once again, it's only a 3-turn raise, so you can't stack it very much. So we're pretty much at the point where we're going to level out. The only time we're going to like vastly improve our attack and defense now is if we get additional. So if we can get consecutive turns of additional supers, then we're going to see a little bit higher numbers, right? All right. And I love this AGL Gohan, by the way. I talk about him, you know, all the time. It's just like, I think a lot of people recognize that he's fairly underrated, and it's just a unit that not many global players probably summon for. I mean, I myself technically skipped the banner. The only reason I got him is even if I'm quote-unquote skipping a banner, I always just do the Pilaf Trove tickets because I feel like they're good value. Like LR Janemba, I wasn't planning to summon for him just because legendary summon banners, if they're not double rates, typically aren't worth it to me. But I did tickets on him too and pulled absolutely nothing. So that's fine, right? All right, so we've got the ideal linking partner. So we're linking him up with this Tech Trunks. And this Tech Trunks is actually getting every link active in the middle here. So this Tech Trunks isn't looking great right now, but you can see I'm level linking him. He's only needs one more link to be full level 10 links. Dude, when the Tech Androids come out, this Tech Trunks just becomes a monster. So I am link leveling him in preparation. He's going to be looking real good. All right, so 328k starter turn defense, all right? So our boy Physical Super Trunks now is looking actually really darn good, especially defensively. So after turn 1, if you keep this guy on rotation and keep him ramped up, like defensively, he's looking fantastic. And then offensively, I mean, if we're hitting even like 4 mil here, I'll take that, right? And maybe we can get an additional. Let's see what happens. Okay. Double digits, which is to be expected. Okay, 3.3. So his attack isn't like the craziest, right? But I do think he does have some value defensively, and like a 3 mil plus attack stat is good enough to run on rotation, right? So like, if you're just looking for a linking partner for, say, Super Vegeta, like this Trunks fits the bill just fine. And here's the thing with Super Vegeta is not a good slot 1 unit because he gets defense after getting hit and after supering, so he's kind of a dead duck in slot 1. Well, this Super Trunks with a 330k starter turn defense, like he can be a slot 1 defensive unit. So he is a really nice pairing, I think, for Super Vegeta. If you want to run that as a rotation, I think you certainly can do that, right? All right, let's see what we take here. I just kind of want to get one more turn, just until like that defense has like leveled out and we can say, okay, we're consistently now at this defense. That 330k defense, though, was a little inflated because we did have a turn with an additional super. If this Trunks had like a guaranteed, I know it's probably asking a lot, but if he had like a guaranteed additional super in his kit, he would be absolutely bananas. All right, so this turn here, yeah, so we're only at 259k defense, and this is with the Kid Gohan. So you can see his defense was like extremely inflated by that, getting that additional in there. But I would say 259k starter turn is still good, considering we're getting more defense on super, and we're going to be over 300k after supering with this guy consistently, right? If you keep him on rotation and you keep his stacks built up, yeah, he's definitely like very good, very solid. Yeah, and there we are at 2.7. So I am, to be honest, a little disappointed in the attack stats, but I'm really impressed by his defense. Like, look, this will be double digits. Yeah, double digits right there. So I would say this Trunks is very solid and definitely like above average defensively. Just offensively, I think he leaves a lot to be desired. So anyways, guys, let me know what you think of this Physical Super Trunks. I think he's definitely a good usable unit. Hopefully you guys get some use out of him. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you all in the next one.